Willie D live.
White man knows he can't trust you. If your own people can't trust you, the white man knows he can't trust you. So your job is a temporary job. We see you, nigga. We see you.
I ain't got no problem with that, but some of y'all do, so let's talk about it. First off, salute to the great, incomparable Khalid Muhammad, one of the best to ever do it. Speaking on one of the worst to ever do it, Officer Tatum. You know, Officer Tatum, he's one of those, I made it. Why can't you? I'm black. I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. You know, I'm from the hood just like you. I made it. Why can't you? Let me explain something to your family. If you're successful, pat yourself on the back. Your success deserves to be recognized. But one person's success does not erase the barriers that others face. If one person escapes poverty, that's inspiring. But if 1 million are left in it, that's a policy issue. That's a societal question, not proof that just hard work alone is going to get you over the hump. And that's the white supremacist talking point that Officer Tatum likes to use so often. There are many, many, many variables which will determine success. Hard work and perseverance alone. Hard work, perseverance alone is not enough, because you have to consider so many variables. You have to, first and foremost, I think you have to consider, education. Look at education. Educational opportunities, the type of schools that you have access to. You look at the family dynamics. Does the family have money? Does the family have a safety net that's been passed down for generations? Let's look at community, including crime and access to jobs. What about professional networks that will, give you a leg up on the competition? When you know somebody, it's a whole lot easier to get through the door, right? What about for people who don't have those type of resources? So yes, drive, education, determination, all of those things play a factor. But you can't just say, just because I made it, the next person who come from where I came from is going to make it. Yes, you have to consider the actions, your choices. You absolutely have to consider your choices. But sometimes you ain't even got a choice. You also have to consider the network. Sometimes your choices are thrust upon you. For example, there are immigrants who come to this country. When they get here, it's automatic. It's like a meal they go through. They come in, they get these resources, those resources, these resources, those resources from your tax dollars. Yeah, you've been here the whole time. But they got it set up for them to make it. And they got it set up for you to fail. This is why when I see black people who are successful, who do make it, especially on a high level, I tip my hat, because I know what it took for them to get there. I don't know their whole story. I don't know the details. But I do know, if you're a doctor, a black doctor in America, I already know you've been scrutinized. If you're a black accountant, a black dentist, if you're an entrepreneur, if you own a restaurant, if you own a bar, the scrutiny can be impossible at times because you're always under a microscope and they judge you. When I say they, I'm not just talking about public officials who are tasked with making sure that you are following protocol and the law and all that. I'm not just talking about that. I'm not just talking about the people coming in inspecting you, surprise inspections, overly inspecting, critiquing everything just on your head the whole time. When you have a lot of these Asian restaurants that don't follow no protocol, they don't follow no safety policies. I'm talking about nasty, nasty, nasty. And I'm not just saying the Asian restaurants, but the Asian restaurants are notorious for being nasty and still staying open. Yeah. So don't try to pass that thing off to me, man, talking about opportunity and choice alone creates opportunity. No, because I know people who were making the best that they had with their life, and they still didn't get there. Sometimes, because of the environment that they were in, they became a casualty. They died. Okay, Officer Tatum, you say that everybody got an opportunity, everybody got an equal opportunity. You made it, they can make it. What about 2-year-old black boy who got murdered, who was at his house, just in the house, sitting on the couch, and a straight bullet hit him and he died? I guess it was his choices, huh? He shouldn't have been sitting on the couch, huh? He would have lived, right? He would have had the same choices you had. I can't stand when successful people try to come off like, oh, it's just that easy. All you gotta do is. Now, here go the cold part. They often focus on black people who are not considered successful, right? Black people who are not considered progressive, right? But they don't speak on the millions of white people who, with all of their opportunities and advantages, are not successful. They try to make it seem like black people are the poster child or the poster group for some type of historical failure, when really we have perhaps the greatest stories of all. We probably have more successful stories than anybody, especially given the little scraps that we've had to work with. Yeah. Most black people are successful. Now, you can talk about different levels of success. You can say you got your successful person who's a billionaire, and then you got your successful person who makes 6 figures, and then you got your successful person who just made the best of the opportunity that they had. They perhaps didn't come from the best environment, but they went to school, they played by the rules, they got their education, they got them a nice job, moderate, nice job. They got married, they built a family. All of their kids are educated. Nobody went to jail. They didn't get They didn't get arrested along the way, or maybe they did get arrested along the way and they bounced back. And they made a better life for their children. I don't know about you, but that's success to me. That is success to me. Because I know people who had money, who on the outside they look successful, but on the inside they're a failure. Because they're a failure as a human being. Nobody likes them. They had money, cars, big house and everything. They got a big old house, but no love inside of the house. Nice cars, but they don't have any real friends. They got all the money. They don't trust nobody because everything that they get, everything that they do is centered around money. So they don't trust anybody. Yeah, they let the money do the talking for them. So they don't even know how to have a conversation. I can't stand it when successful people turn that nose up. And I'm talking about financially successful. Because again, the greatest success to me is human success, which that's something that Officer Tatum ain't never gonna have to worry about, because he ain't ever gonna come close. Officer Tatum has never met a black person he didn't want to throw under the bus, or a white person whose ass he didn't want to kiss. No more talk.